Hello, good morning. I'm Janelle Harris with 501c TV, the podcast that talks to system change leaders, thought leaders, nonprofits, and nonprofit partners to find out what's new in the industry and all of the awesome events that are going on. And today I have the extreme pleasure of welcoming Julia Murphy from Habitat for Humanity with us this morning. Hi, Julia.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And I'm excited to have an opportunity to talk to you. You guys do so much. There's a lot we have to cover. And like I said, it goes super fast, but we'll get through all the important stuff today. And I'm excited that you're here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do for Habitat for Humanity and maybe how you got involved with them and where we're at.
I'm the Chief Advancement Officer. A lot of people in the fundraising world have heard the word development. We use the word advancement because it's helping understand advancing the mission. We do that through many different models. Fundraising is one of them, and I do oversee that aspect. But we do it through marketing and branding, government relations, community relations, and overall event aspects. So it's a very common word in the university system, and we're really looking at what that means for our organization. So we've transitioned to the advancement title.
Cool.
So I oversee all of that production for our organization.
small little role that you have there. Not busy at all, I'm sure.
No, not at all, right?
Especially in Palm Beach County.
Oh, yeah. So interesting enough, we are now Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County. In January of this year, there were two affiliates, one for the north, and that focused in Lantana North, and then one for the south part of the county that was Lantana South.
Okay.
And now we are focusing all of Palm Beach County.
Cool.
So we merged and we're one affiliate, which is super exciting.
That's
we're
awesome.
able to combine our resources and be able to address this housing crisis in a more cohesive way, which both affiliates were doing great, but I think collaboratively we're going to be able to handle it more. And we do also cover the Western community. So we do cover Belle Glade, Pahokee, South Bay.
Okay, that I didn't know. I didn't realize you guys had such a reach west.
We're one of the largest counties in the state of Florida, third, of course. But outside of that, we are one of the largest counties in the United States. So we cover a large territory, and I'm driving anywhere from, I would say, Boca to Belle Glade to Palm Beach North some days. So it's just, you never know where I'm going to be in my little Infinity rolling around.
Look for Julia on the streets. I haven't driven with her, so I can't say if she's a good driver or a crazy driver, but we'll look for you.
I'm a mom now, so I'm a lot better than I used to be.
Perfect. I am too. I'm like grandma driver, but yeah, that's very exciting. I did notice. So we'll flash the website up at the end, but it is now the website changed, right? It's habitat.greaterpbc.org. So we'll put that up on the podcast so everyone can find you, and you guys have a lot of great information there as well.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit. So Habitat for Humanity, I think most people, they recognize the name.
Yes.
It's a big brand. Everybody, they understand that there's houses being built.
Yes.
But it's not just houses. Let's talk a little bit about, kind of the mission. Like, what is the challenge we're trying to solve here? Because I know that especially in South Florida right now, like the housing crisis, it's been going on for a long time. Affordable housing.
Yes.
So not only just people being able to find homes, but stay in a home and afford the home.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the mission, I think. And if you can talk just a little bit about, some of the other initiatives that kind of drive Habitat for Humanity.
Absolutely. So I actually started working with Habitat many years ago. I was a part of a young professional group. That's where I really started my career, my platform of getting into the next level of a professional. Cool. And we were a part of a Palm Beach young professional group, and we would go out and do builds.
Awesome.
And I had the hands-on experience. They did a fashion show, and I modeled in the fashion show. And I would say, like, dived in. But even that experience, I didn't understand. I was in a transformational time in my life. I was with my previous organization, Compass, the LGBT Community Center, which is still a huge organization to me, and I'll be joining their board this year, for 13 years. And I was ready to take my next career move. And I've always been very passionate about Habitat, and I've always been passionate about housing. I grew up in many of the systems that people utilize here in Palm Beach County. People don't see me in that light, but I have, and I've had real on-hand personal experience growing up. And I just felt that as a mother, it made sense to be the cause that meant something so much to me. I am a fundraiser, but I'm a trained social worker. People don't know that. Like, I was going to be a therapist.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's an amazing background. It all kind of like culminates together.
I was in my master's degree, and I was like, I'm going to be a therapist. And then they're like, no, we need you to do fundraising. I'm like, I don't do fundraising. And
you do now.
You do now. I'm shutting along all around here.
Good for you.
It just aligned with me. So going in, I had a perception, and I think it's what everybody else has.
Yeah.
They see you going out, and you wear the cute shirt, and I'm out there taking my photo of my hammer, and it's the first time I've ever really built something, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And I met a family, and it was really good. And usually it's in a neighborhood that I may not been aware of, and I'm like, wow, like this is such a great thing. Wow, what we do is so much more.
Yes, and
so much more.
And I want people to understand that. Yeah,
for people to see it. And I have the nice challenge of being able to oversee the branding aspect of this. So I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
So the basic model of the simplicity is everyone sees Jemmy Carter on top of a house, and that is what we do.
Yes,
we acquire a piece of land. From somewhere in this county, and typically it's been donated from the county, city, or somebody.
Okay.
And we then have to get that piece of land ready.
Got it.
And we are going to do construction on it, and it's new construction. And we will do construction from a 2-bedroom to 5-bedroom. We typically try to meet the family where they're at.
Sure.
And try to make sure that every person that has their own bedroom.
Got it.
We go through an application process. So when we get a piece of land and we're ready to build, because there's a lot of things that go along with that process.
I'm sure.
If anyone's in construction, they know. And I've learned a lot again.
I'm sure you have.
So we'll put an application process out, and then we have a family selections committee, and they go through a lot of rigorous process. It's not easy to become a Habitat homeowner. You have to be ready. So one is you have to have conditions that you need to get out of. You're maybe paying over for your rent.
Yes.
You have income for over 2 years. So you've been working, you have a substantial income that you're making. You're ready to be a homeowner. You're ready to invest. And renting is very different than being a homeowner. We all know, right?
Yeah.
There's property tax, there's insurance, there's upkeep. So you have to be ready. And then you have to demonstrate a need, and you have to be between 30 to 80% of the federal poverty level here.
Got it. Okay.
And what happens is they go through that process, and our family selections committee goes to your house and does an interview. They go through your financial records. They really do a deep dive, and then we'll select a family to be a Habitat homeowner.
Okay.
From that point, when you're selected, you are now in a partnership with us, and you're committed to either 300 hours or 450 hours of completing with us. And that's going to be through a financial education, seminars. We have restores, which I'll tell you about, and then also on-site construction. The 300 hours is for a single family, and 450 hours would be for a two-parent household.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's so important because I think most people just think that Habitat goes in, they build the house, they move the family in, and and that's it.
It's a long process.
But I think that's great that they're involved in it because there's a lot of ownership there.
There is
on a lot of different levels, and I think that's really cool. So I did not know that.
Yeah, so they're along the partnership with us, and then we'll break ground. So we actually invite everyone out on April 26th. We're breaking ground for 3 homes in West Palm Beach that we're going to be building. So we're really excited.
Is this Rock the Block?
That's something different.
That's something different.
That's 3 days later.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. That's
3 days later.
Okay.
So we break ground. We actually have a shovel, and we put it in the dirt, and we say we're breaking ground, and we do a huge ceremony.
Okay, cool.
And we pray on the property.
I love it.
So when they come into partnership, now after we break ground, you're looking at 6 to 9 months of actual construction. That homeowner is building side by side with our volunteers, we have a construction staff, with our team of people every single day. We work around their work schedule, so a lot of them are coming out on Saturdays and are there from 8 to 5 o'clock on a Saturday with their children. They are seeing a house that they're putting their hands on, building every single layer from the beginning to the end. And I think that's the impactful piece. You're making the financial investment in yourself. You're ready to do this, but you are actually taking your time to invest. I bought a townhouse. It's great. I don't know every little thing that what happened in the house. I don't know every piece of wood, the concrete, the trusses that went up, the drywall. They are involved in every step of that way. And I think people don't realize that piece of the puzzle.
No, I don't think so.
Anytime you're building a house, you can meet our family if you'd like. So we'd love to share those stories with people. And all these stories are so unique and impactful and beautiful. We build the house. When we go to closing, that family will put a down payment. It's a minimal down payment, and then they'll do a 30-year agreement with us.
Okay.
So it's a 30-year, 0 interest, and their payment is based on 27% of their income.
Cool.
So just nobody overpays
easy
over
peasy.
that.
Yeah.
And then they would pay for 30 years. After the 30 years, the house would be for theirs, just like you would do a mortgage, and then they're able to build generational wealth. The beautiful part of Habitat is that's for the parent, right? What that child gets typically, the stability, the strength, the resilience, the financial literacy that they're watching their parent go through. These are typically first generation community members. Just so many different aspects.
Yeah.
The children mostly go to college now. They're having the parent not have to make really critical decisions about paying electricity or a mortgage or rent, however that works out for them. They're able to really be self-sufficient. And that's the end goal. And we have a family party every year and we check in with them. So that's the biggest model people see.
Yes.
And it is hard for us because land is a scarce resource.
Yeah.
So if you have some, please donate it to me.
Get in touch with Julia. Just give her your land.
And right now,
need lands.
we are in production of 12 new homes.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
So we have 3 out in South Bay, Belle Glade and Pahokee, Riviera Beach, West Palm Beach, Lake Worth, Boynton, and Delray.
Wow.
So we have homes all over.
Yeah, all over the
we're
place.
building all over. And then the other piece that people don't know that we do, and I think this is the piece I love to really harp on, is our neighborhood revitalization.
Okay.
Neighborhood revitalization is where we go in and we do one of 3 type of repairs. The first step would be a brush with kindness, where it's just a cosmetic repair. We'll go and do landscaping. We'll clean your yard for you. We'll paint your house. We'll kind of basically beautify the neighborhood.
Got it.
That is what we're doing on April 29th, which is Rock the Block.
Okay.
So Rock the Block is where we go out and we're going to pick a neighborhood, which we have when we assigned it with the City of Delray Beach, and we beautify a neighborhood.
That's so cool.
So we do it partnerships with community members, everybody. We're going to do 10 homes. So the prep work is you got to clean everything up. You got to do the pressure washing, which we've done. The homeowner picks their paint colors.
So
we
cool.
got to do landscaping, and then everyone comes out and beautifies that neighborhood. And it's kind of a done in a day project.
Got it. Okay.
So it's a really amazing situation where you see.
That's one I was reading about all online. I was
Yeah.
like, I love this. This is
So we're going to
cool.
do it at Pompey Park. We're going to start the staging, and then there's 3 blocks in Delray Beach and then a neighborhood called The Set.
Okay.
So in partnership with the CRA, City of Delray Beach, and Habitat. And this event's been about 30-something years. Habitat really took the initiative of it in 2018. It used to be a city-led event, and now it's a partnership.
Cool. Very cool.
The 2 other tiers would be a critical home repair. There are people living in homes that have owned the house for many years, but they cannot afford to do the upkeep. And one would be a roof.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So we all are dealing with homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
The insurance is going to cancel
in
you,
South
right?
Florida like crazy here today. Yeah, exactly.
And they're not going to let you put out a claim that you have to repair
Right.
it. You're talking $15,000 minimum. We'll come in and we'll help subsidize that situation for you.
Okay, got
We'll
it.
negotiate with you. We do like people to pay a little bit back, and if you can't, we understand that. But we try to work on a payment agreement. Maybe it's $100 a month, just so there's an investment. But we'll go in and assess the damage and see if it's something to repair that we can do.
Cool.
So we'll go in and do a roof repair.
Okay.
A lot of people that we are working with don't have AC. They've been living in Florida without AC for 2 years,
That
typically.
is a critical repair.
So you're talking $5,000.
yeah.
You don't have that money.
No, yeah. That's a lot.
You might have window damage. We go in and we try to put hurricane impact windows in every single home that we do.
Awesome.
The other area, and this is one of the most very near and dear to my heart, is aging in place. A lot of these people are aging in their home. They don't have children, or they don't have the resources to modify their home while their life is changing.
Yeah.
We've put in guardrails, ramps for people. We're modifying their home to meet them where they're at so they can live
I
a
love
longer
that.
life in their home. A lot are veterans.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that veterans don't have this resource available to them. So we do a veterans initiative, and we do it every November, and that's one of our events. We do a new home, and then we do neighborhood revitalization. We try to find veterans that need this resource. Our event will be November 3rd.
Okay.
So we'll do new construction plus the critical repair.
I'm marking that one.
Yeah, no, that it's, I gotta tell you, but people don't realize, and a lot of homes are just now, they're no longer being able to upkeep because the decays happen so long.
Yeah.
And we're seeing, I mean, we have 2 veterans right now. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do because the structural damage is so severe that it's been taking so long. So if we would have come in earlier, if we've come in to repair a roof earlier, there could have been a different situation. We hold their hand the whole way, and sometimes it's out of the scope of what we do. We're really just meeting people where they're at, and it's a struggle to see people in their homes where they're not able to really live a healthy, happy life. So we cover those costs, and we look at where people are, and there's an application process, of course, but typically somebody is elderly and they don't have the resources, and also their yards, no one's mowing their grass.
I know.
So we go out and help with that. So we do things beyond our scope of work, but that program is really amazing.
Yeah, well, that's really sweet because, again, like you said, if they don't have anybody in the neighborhood or family, to kind of wrap around them, that stinks.
And the financial resource, they're on fixed income.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you now are wheelchair bound, And we've had a homeowner where there's a husband and wife, and she was like, I don't know how to get my husband in and out of the house. We built a ramp for them to come in and out, and we lowered the bathtub and the stove. So now he's self-sufficient in his home, and his wife can help him, and it doesn't feel like such a burden on the family. And you can stay in your home. You don't have to be separated. Like I've been with my husband for almost 20 years. I couldn't imagine not being able to stay together because of needing a ramp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It seems so simple, but it's a big deal. It's costly too.
And what I like to do is partner with organizations. So we're talking to Owen. So like if that homeowner needed a wheelchair, I would call Owen and say, hey, can I get a wheelchair?
I was just thinking of you, Owen. I literally was going to be like, and I'm sure you guys partner with other nonprofits in the area. Oh my gosh, that's so great.
I'm all about collaboration and partnership.
I love that.
When we're meeting with the families, we kind of assess what they need, and then we can bring in other resources.
Of course.
So wrap around.
Yeah.
That's what it's at. The other thing that we do that a lot of people don't know is we work with Seminole Ridge High School, and there's a construction academy, and they build a Habitat home every year.
Okay, I love this.
Yes, it's amazing. I have a picture I'll show you. Okay. So we're actually moving that home. So they build it in their facility at Seminole Ridge, and then Wise Construction covers the costs of actually moving it. And it's a really amazing process. So we're moving our 10th home, and it's going to be one of the West Palm Beach properties. But each year these students build with their own hands in their construction academy, an entire house. So there's models of this kind of around the nation, but nobody does a full house. This is the only one of its kind in the entire United States.
I was going to say, I remember when I grew up in the Chicago area, and I remember, I know my parents will watch this and know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a home, but it was built by our local high school, but it was on site. So they had, you're working around kids' schedules and everything else they have going on. It was not actually like built at the school and then brought.
This is part of their curriculum. There's a teacher and structure. Wise Construction Academy helps undercover the cost of actually coming in some laborers. They learn all the aspects. They're also able to, after high school, now go out and get employed. So trade is very important. We all need people in the trade industries.
There's a shortage.
This is, we're trying to combat that. So this program's been around for about 12 years.
Okay.
With COVID, kind of messed up a little bit, but it is also funded through the school district because the school district funds the employment side of the teachers. Seminole Ridge is a great partner. We'd love to replicate this in other schools. We're looking at what other expansion of it, but it'll be our 10th home, and I'll invite you out to that. That's going to be really exciting to see it all moved. I mean, it's extraordinary.
So crazy.
And then the other piece that we do, we have our restores. So we have 5, Jupiter, Riviera Beach, Green Acres, Delray, and Boca.
Yep.
If you are going to redo your house, we can come in and do deconstruction. We can come and take your sinks, your cabinetry, all that. You would donate to Habitat, and then we would resell it. So we're keeping it on the landfill, and then we're also able to create revenue from that. And we focus mostly on house items, which is interesting. So it's a restore, reuse, recycle kind of model.
And I've seen the stores all around. I wasn't sure exactly what they carried. I didn't know if it was just home stuff or what it was, but that's cool.
I would love to invite you out to one of those. It's really exciting. We have a woman that helps us with some marketing and stuff. Her name's Ambi, and she's a Palm Beach thrifter. She comes in and shows people all the cool items.
Oh my gosh, that's
so we sometimes
cool.
get China. I mean, we get so much stuff. We do, in some of the stores, have clothing, but we really focus in on a lot of the home stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the builders here, they'll do a model home, and then they're going to throw that stuff out. They call us.
Oh, I love that.
And they donate it.
That's
Koski's Antiques, they just donated a bunch of stuff for us as well.
So cool.
So we get really amazing donations. So if you're looking for a home repair, come to Habitat Restore before you go to the store, because we probably have some really amazing stuff. And brand new things too. People that decided they didn't want interior designers, like somebody will want to do a house on the island or Jupiter Island, Boca, and like that doesn't really match my aesthetic anymore. Yeah. They're donating it.
Yeah.
Have tile. I mean,
still in the box.
It's amazing. Definitely
so cool.
check out a Habitat. Chandeliers.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of our really amazing stuff.
Cool.
That kind of encompasses, I would say, the best, fastest way I can explain Habitat to you.
Yeah, that's amazing. You did an awesome job. Thank you so much. Okay, so with that being said, you touched a little bit on some of the events, but what are some of the maybe like some of the corporate events or things that people watching this can say, hey, I'd like to get involved. What can I do?
Absolutely. So we have 5 signature events that we have. So I'll kind of go through the year that makes it the easiest. In March, we have Women Build, which we just had. It was amazing. We had 400 women come out. It's women building together, not exclusively women. Men can come too. We want you out there too. But it's usually women-led households. And it's showing that camaraderie with women coming together. I think people have a perception that women aren't builders. We have so many women in construction that we work with.
Yeah.
And women are fascinating. We have so many aspects to us that people sometimes I feel like you're a woman. I'm like, no, I'm strong. I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really amazing day.
Cool.
We do it over 2 days. And next year we're going to do March 7th and 8th. And March 8th is International Women's Day.
Perfect.
So you basically set up a fundraiser, you pull together a team and you fundraise to come out and build that day. And those funds help us supplement that house.
Okay.
I think a lot of people get a misperception, like we're paying you. I'm like, you're not paying me anything. Just so everyone knows, you are funding a project.
Right.
I think that's the biggest piece I want people to take away. You're helping fund this project. A house costs us about $400,000 to build right now with labor, product, all that stuff. People don't really, we're not getting any deals.
I would have, that's low. I would have guessed way more than that with the
it depends on where it's at.
Things
and it depends on lots of aspects if
Yeah.
we have unforeseen aspects of it. But so that fundraiser, if we raise $400,000, then we're able to fund a house.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So those fundraisers are really funding the actual projects.
Yeah.
Like they're going right back. Where you're fundraising for, you see your dollars. And I hope when you drive by a house, you see the product of what you've done, right?
So cool.
Then we have our Rock the Block event, which is a
Okay.
partnership with the city of Delray Beach. And that's the neighborhood revitalization part where we're doing the brush with kindness. We're going out and painting. It's showing that group of people coming out together. There's an energy about these events too. When you see a group of people coming out and all for the common cause, you're just walking down the street to the house together and you're like, you hear the music and the energy and that happens. New homeowners come out and they're like, thank you so much. It's a beautiful day.
I'm sure. And like just the before and after, like it can change the whole vibe of just that area, right?
Yeah.
And people are happy and they've got pride about where they live. They're happy to come home to that. I mean, I would be, you know,
Absolutely.
so I think that's really cool.
And that's our goal, is like usually to get a whole street and really change the way that the community feels about their street. We want to build thriving communities.
Yeah.
And we want to help invest in themselves. Self-resilience is something that we really focus on, strength and stability, like really investing in our communities and doing it together.
Yeah.
Collaboration with our communities. We're not doing it for them, we're doing with them.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful model. And then we have our CEO build in September. So it's CEOs building together. It's a great aspect for other CEOs to see each other. Lots of times you can't get behind that desk or those meetings, but it's a day out on the job site and you're building. It's a fundraiser. We have our chairs for that event, but really, we have about 70 CEOs all over Palm Beach County from top corporations here. South Florida Business Wealth is one of our top sponsors. So we highlight the event in the magazine.
Sure.
We have a kickoff party, which is going to happen in August at the Seagate in Delray.
Cool.
And then the CEOs will build out for 2 days.
Awesome.
Veteran Build is November 3rd. That's where we're going to do 2 veteran homes plus a neighborhood revitalization project. So we're hoping to get about 300 to 400 people out to come out with those projects and build. Then we have a Habitat Young Professionals group.
Okay.
So they have a gala each year, and they did it under the stars last year. It was super cute at the Cox Science Center as a homecoming theme.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll see what they come up with this year. But it's a thriving group of young people that are really passionate about Habitat's mission and want to be able to forward in the philanthropy world. But it's their whole goal is to support Habitat, but they're connecting together around a commonality. And I think that's different than other young professional groups. And I've been about many of where they're always like, what's our project? What's nonprofit we're going to support? Their nonprofit's already tied into what they're doing. So it's really exciting. And we do lots of things outside of that. Every day we're building, we have construction happening on houses. So we have the 12 houses. We're always doing neighborhood revitalization projects, regardless if we have an event or not. So those common practices are happening on a day-to-day basis. The event side of it, we're going to have it combined with it.
Sure.
We have a family holiday party, and then we have team build. So corporations can come out and bring their teams to build a house together. A lot of people love that. So those doors are always open. You can go to our website and check it out. You can always reach me. I would love to talk to anybody about Habitat. I'm very passionate about it.
Perfect. I love it. It's great. So tell me a quick story about one of your favorite families.
Oh gosh, okay.
You have to pick. I know. I'm sure there's like tons, but
are so many. This is so difficult. You did me hard.
Sorry. Maybe a recent one that sticks out in your mind.
I mean, they're all so amazing. To me as a social worker, at the end of the day, what I love about Habitat is you get to touch it. You get to actually, there's a physical touch, and I think that it's therapeutic. I think putting your hand in the soil, right? When we talk about gardening, you're putting your hand on the house that you're helping build for somebody. So every story to me, and even with our neighborhood revitalization, is so impactful. I think the one that probably sticks out to me the most is we had 2 home dedications in Belle Glade. It was my first week at Habitat, like literally, like I got thrown to the wolves. That's what happens in nonprofit world. You just jump in.
I hear that a lot.
You just jump in.
You're figuring it out on the fly.
Yeah, you just jump in. And Melissa McKinley, which is a former commissioner out for the Western communities for Palm Beach County, had come out this day to be a part of the home dedication. She was stepping down as commissioner, and she goes, I came out because you were here. And I was like, what? It's like, oh my God, it's amazing, right? I'm walking through the house after we do the ribbon cutting, and I have a 2.5-year-old, so this means a lot to me. I see the two families, there's not a gate between the backyard, so they have an open backyard. These kids are just running back and forth playing tag. And the little kid comes and goes, come with me, I want you to see my room. And he's like, I never had my own room before, and this is my forever home. I was
and now we're crying.
What?
Thanks a lot, Julia.
And like, I just...
Yeah, it like hits you.
He never had a backyard. Yeah. He never had his own room.
Yeah.
He never had a space to just be and be a child.
Right.
And knowing that these two families get to grow their children together and have a unit. And then he goes, we get to have Thanksgiving here. And I'm like, oh my God. like why are you doing this to me? And it just, I mean, they all just like grabbed my hand and come on, Miss Julia, so let's go see.
And they are just, they are no filter. They just tell it like it is. And it's like such a simple thing. But when you think about, to a kid,
they have a safe space to play now. And a lot of our community members, they are living in, and like I do, live in a townhouse. And I think about my kid driving her bike, and I'm like, okay, there's going to be Carter. They don't have to worry about that. Like they don't have to worry, like their backyard now, they get to be children. Yeah. And we're going to actually put a play set there for them. And when Dixie filled the cabins with food, like it's so beautiful. And then the homeowner next to them, their apartment actually burned down. Oh my gosh. The month before they were closing on their house. They had nothing and lost everything. So it's a mother and her, like a grandma and the daughter. And one of the most amazing, she works for the school district. Okay. And literally we were able to fundraise to get them their house fully furnished. And we took them to Target and we're able to buy towels and everything. They lived in their apartment for 20 years, had it decorated. I mean, the most beautiful thing ever. And it burned down, and luckily the grandma got out. But it was, so those are the women living together, like next to each other. So you have these children in the backyard, and you have this mother and daughter that are able to live in this beautiful home together. And I was just like, okay, that was our welcome home for the holidays.
You're like, and I'm in this life.
Yeah, it was like, oh gosh. But I just think that's just one of the stories.
Yeah, I mean, there's hundreds of them.
And there are. And I encourage people to come out, if you build, ask about the family story. Not, families can't always be there, but we share them. All of our marketing promotional materials, those are not clip art. Yeah. Those are real families that we work with on all of our PR stuff, everything. Those are the families that live in those houses. We want you to hear real stories and be impacted by the work that we do. So I encourage people to come out. We're addressing this housing crisis in ways we need more support and help than ever. I mean, we can't do it alone. Yeah, I can tell you that much. But we're trying. We're really trying hard, and our goal is to build 20 houses next year and to do about 100 neighborhood revitalization projects. So we're going to make it happen. We're going to be hitting this ground running. You can see that I'm hungry for it, so I'm not going to stop.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So is there any way that individuals can come and just be part of a project?
Yeah. So we are a huge volunteer organization. I don't think people realize that. Yep. We need a lot of help in our restores as well. So I don't think any effort goes unseen, but our restores are a big aspect. Yeah. We need that volunteer hours. But we also have a program called Crew Leaders. Okay. So people actually are part of our construction team, and they help us train volunteers on site and the team build. So we have about 15 people, and we need more crew leaders. That's a great program. But yeah, you can come out and volunteer. We also need stuff in the office and our event side of it. We always need event volunteers. Okay. We have an amazing volunteer department, to be honest. I think a lot of organizations are jealous how great our volunteer department is, to be honest. That is what we do really well.
I love that.
And we do a volunteer appreciation every year, and we really take care of you. So please come out. Our website is habitatgreaterppc.org. We would love to have you. It's julia.murphy@habitatgreaterppc.org. Reach out to me. I would love for people to be engaged and involved in what we're doing. We're so much goodness happening.
I'm so excited. Like, this has just made me even more excited because I've been anticipating Julia coming here. So I was doing a lot of homework, and I'm like, this is awesome. I love this. I can't wait to get involved. Do you have any age minimums on volunteers or?
Usually with 16 and up.
Okay, perfect.
Because of the work. But if you wanted to do another kind of project, we can look at like making adaptations. But we work with a lot of the high schools. So Oxbridge, comes out. They have a club. Benjamin has a habitat club, which is interesting. But we also want to look at bringing projects to students. So we're looking at a playhouse model. So we're looking at building playhouses for younger children.
That is
then
so
we can bring
genius.
it to on site with like a done in a day project.
Yeah.
So then we can donate that to habitat homeowners or work with community partners that you know. So like looking at how we can be able to have a group
That's so smart.
build a little playhouse and then donate it back. So we want to bring those projects, and we won't have age minimums on there, but it's bringing in that building aspect. It's touching our mission in a different way. And then we would be able to get the family stories of who you're donating. I mean, my 2-year-old would love a playhouse, I'll be honest.
Yeah, right. I know.
She'd be like, Mommy, this is amazing, right? So we have built some, but we're really looking at expanding that arm of what we're doing. So we'd love to bring that to students, because I think it just is a little bit of version of what we do, but also gives you that impact of what it means to put your hands on a product.
It really does, and a lot of the nonprofits that I've talked to, there's a big difference when you donate your time, or sometimes you just feel like, well, I'm going to donate and write a check, and then that's it. But I know, especially like for my kids, Scott and I have 5 between us, but
5. Oh God bless you.
5 between us. But it's, when they can see where their efforts are going and they're involved in that.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we've done, they talk about this forever, for like years. My daughter will ask me things that we've done, and those are the projects and the things that they've been involved in that I think really make an impact. And that's why, like for Habitat for Humanity especially, I'm like, this is it's a big thing, and it's a foundation. And like you said, if you're starting in high school, I wholeheartedly believe that they're hooked, and then they will continue doing this, on through adulthood. And if they do that, that's all you can ask. So
I think
it's a good thing.
The biggest gift, and people have asked me how I've gotten where I'm at in my life, and I said it's service. At the end of the day, I reflect, and I'm thankful for every single thing that I have. And I may not have everything that I've ever wanted, but what I have today is good enough.
Yeah.
And when you do service, you value that. You see the impact. You see the difference you can make. And one person can. At Habitat, I think that's the biggest piece. That nail that you put into that piece of wood, that's an impact.
Absolutely.
That's one step closer. One stroke of paint, one step closer. And I think that for me makes the most sense. And it's an honestly uplifting mission. It really, I'm like, how could I just not be happy every day? I gotta tell you the truth.
You just made me cry in our podcast. It's so good.
And I get to do that every day. Yeah, I get to do this every single day. I'm like, how did I get so lucky? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, how did I get to be blessed to be able to be in this situation, to be able to forward this mission? And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity to do it. I'm thankful to help be able to be an advocate for our families. But that's the other piece. I think advocating for affordable housing. Our homeowners are facing challenges, as we all are, with our property tax, our health, our insurance rates. We need more advocates. We need more people helping us to advocate for affordable housing. And we do have great ones here on the county level, but more people, more resources, business owners. I think if you have influence, use it in the positive way, please. I beg you.
Yes.
But Habitat's an organization that needs you. We need those voices. We need that help. We can't do it alone. And we have a great person helping us on our advocacy side, and that's part of my team as well. But just telling those stories and why it's so important. But they may get a point where our programs aren't going to be able to help because they can't afford the other side of it.
Right.
And
it's got to be
what do we do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where we're working with the cities and the county on how do we address the other cost that we did not anticipate going up.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everyone's got to work together and do their part. So
absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you do. Oh my gosh,
I love it.
You are so dynamic. And if Julia didn't make you feel like you really want to run out right now and do an event with Habitat, please do. Check out the website. She even graciously gave her contact information.
You can reach out to me.
Yeah.
I like you too. Let me know. Let's go to lunch. Let's have coffee.
Let's just go have fun. Let's build a house, put the shirt on.
You can come. And I love to bring people to the sites too. Even in the beginning, middle stages, so you can see the structure of what a home looks like. It's people don't know. They just have never seen it. So cool. If you want to do a site visit, come out with me. We'll put a heart out. I got a pink one in my trunk. Just so you know.
Of course you do. I was going to say, I know you have one that matches that dress.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
This was wonderful. And you guys are welcome here anytime. If you have any other events coming up, I'd love to have you back in and maybe to come back and talk about Compass. But
I would love to talk about Compass.
Yes. So you will probably see Julia again.
Yes.
But again, thank you so much. And we'll put all the information up so you can go out out and check out Habitat for Humanity, Greater Palm Beach County, or even if you're watching this from somewhere not in South Florida, check out your Habitat for Humanity locally. I'm sure that they would love to have you. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. A big thank you, as always, to Kana House Studios, Wellington's first and only social content creation studio. We love you guys. Thank you.